Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Anna and this is Tales from the Craft Room. Today I'm going to share with you one way that I like to do Tunisian crochet. There are many different ways to do it and more stitches than I can count on 2 hands and 2 feet. Trust me. And I'm sure there's way more than what I have seen in books and stuff that I have found online. So one way I like to do Tunisian crochet is with a double-ended hook. If you've watched my channel any length of time, you know that I have done a lot of Tunisian crochet with double-ended hooks because I believe in my own mind that when you're flipping back and forth, or if you're doing one with, sometimes I do 4. I've done 4. That's why I have 4 of the H hooks. This is an H hook. I have done quite a bit of Tunisian crochet. I don't know if all the videos are actually available for the public, because some of them YouTube has flagged for silly little reasons that are irrelevant in my mind. But anyway, I have done a lot of Tunisian crochet. So if you have watched some of those, this might be something old that you've seen before. If not, welcome. Let's have some fun. So double-ended hook, you need 2 colors of yarn, unless you are doing 4, and then technically you don't. But for what I'm going to show you today, you do need 2 colors of yarn. I have this blue and I have this yellow. We are just going to make a small swatch. I am not doing any particular, project or anything with this. I just thought it would be fun to hop on here and share some of my favorite ways to do Tunisian crochet. So this is just going to be the basic thing that I do with Tunisian crochet hook with 2 hooks. So I'm just going to crochet, let's say, I don't know, how many should I do? It doesn't really matter for this, because this one is not a 10 plus 2 or whatever. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'll do one more, so I'll do 2 more. 15, 16. That way we even have an even number. So our actual project will be 14 chains wide, because your 2 end loops or chains, in my opinion, don't count, because those are the edge ones. They're not quite so pretty. That's what you join with. If I were to make a larger project that, using double-ended, I would probably crochet a border around whatever I did, because, well, you'll see. Sometimes I go in the back bumps. This time I think I will. Normally I do with a double-ended hook, because it gives it a clean edge, and also when you bind off, you will have a chain look on the very top of your project as well. So we're just going to go into the back bumps of each one of our loops. Not the front where you would do with regular crochet. Not those. Little bumps on the back. And this is not really a tutorial. If you want to slow it down to see exactly what I'm doing and get a better there's a hair on there. It's driving me nuts. Get a better understanding of what I'm doing, please do. I was just wanting to hop on here and, do something, because it's been a while since I've been here. I've been preoccupied doing other things in the evenings and such when I would normally make videos. But I have been documenting what I've been doing. If you want to check that out, there's no charge for it. It's completely free. You can check the link down in the description box below if you'd like. If not, that's fine too. But okay, so I should have 16 loops on my hook. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, now that we've gone, like I said, this will be the bottom of your project. See how it's got that nice finished chain look on it? So there we go. All right, now we're going to flip our hook around, boop, like that. And then we're going to bring in our second color. And if you want, you can use, if you have a skein, you can use opposite ends so that you can have it all the same color, or, I mean, You know, you can do 2 skeins of the same if you want. I like color. I like to change color. And we're going to do our return stitch with the second color. And I also want to point out that I personally believe there is no right or wrong way to do something. I tell that to all my friends when I'm showing them how to crochet. I try not to correct how they're doing something, except for, you know, if they're not accomplishing the stitch as it should be, then I try to correct them. But trust me, sometimes it drives me bonkers how people hold their yarn, or people hold their hook, or how they make the stitches. Probably drives you bonkers the way I do it too. But this is the way I learned, so for me, this is the right way. So I'm going to pull that through, and then just your normal return stitch that you would do with any Tunisian crochet project that you might make. Alright, so when you get back to this end, we can't have both of our yarns at the same end. So we have to take our yellow back to its starting end. This is the blue starting end. This is the yellow starting end. So we're going to do the simple Tunisian crochet stitch all the way back. And when we get back to the other side, we should have 16 loops on our hook. And I will say this end will start looking wonky as well. No, this one end looks, with this method, one end looks okay. The other end just, I think, looks wonky. Or maybe they're both. I can't remember. I just do it. I've done it so much, I don't even think about it. Because I know what it looks like and I know it looks right. So we'll find out here in a minute. Yeah, both ends do look wonky. So on my first row, when I get back to this end, normally I would go through both loops, but going through like of the chain up here. But I can't over here because both loops would just be doing like a stitch in the middle. So what I do is I go through one loop of the return chain, and I go through one loop of the actual simple stitch. Sometimes this can be tricky to pull through. This one worked out quite well. So for me, that gives it a more secure end than just going through the loops, which, like I said, would be more like a full stitch, and that's not what I want on this. So now we're on this end, we have to do our return stitch, but let's count our loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We still have the correct number. I'm going to get some more yarn here. All right, now for the return stitch. Just your basic return stitch. And you can do this with a different size hook. I mean, this is just regular worsted weight, size 4 weight, 4 ply, whatever you want to call it, yarn. I think both of these are probably loops and threads, or yeah, they're probably loops and threads. I mean, if you can use a bigger hook. I have a project going, somewhat going. It's kind of been abandoned for a while yet, but I'm using a J hook. I think it's a J hook. Maybe it's an I. No, I think it's a J hook. But it's the biggest double-ended hook that I have, but I've been using it for that project. So, all right, so here we go. We're just going to go back doing our simple Tunisian stitch with that blue, because we can't have both of our yarns on the same end of the project. And for me, I would recommend, if you do any size, any like lengthy size of a project where you need to do specific number of rows for, you know, multiple pieces, I would recommend keeping tally on like an app on your phone for row counting or whatever, because I have a hard time remembering how to count these rows. That's one thing I have not figured out yet, and I've done quite a bit of this. So anyway, I'm back to my beginning one here. So once again, what I do is I take a loop from my return stitch and go through a loop of the regular simple Tunisian stitch. Come on, cooperate. and I pull through that. Like I said, for me, that gives it a more secure. Once again, double check, make sure you have the correct number of stitches, and flip your work. So yeah, both ends are wonky because you see how that's down here, we go up in a whole row. So once again, just repeat. Guess I need some more yellow. Get down here, go back with your regular simple Tunisian like you normally would do, going forward, because this is our forward pass, and then we'll flip our project for the return pass. So you go, after your first row, you go return forward, and then you return forward. Just repeat that over and over and over. And I would say it's a 2-row repeat, but technically it's not necessarily a 2-row repeat, it's just Tunisian crochet is a 2-row repeat for everything you do. Because you have to have that return stitch to hold your loops in place. Oops. See, sometimes that can be tricky, but that's the way I like to do it. So there we go. This is what the project will look like, and once you get to this spot, you would flip it. Do your return stitch, do your forward stitch. Now if you notice, the side is the yellow, but you can see the blue peeking through. And on the opposite, this side's blue, and you can see the yellow peeking through. That is, oh, and one more thing I do want to point out. You notice my yarn doesn't get tangled. That's because I flip it the same direction every time. Simple. That is one handy thing with doing 2 colors with Tunisian crochet. If you pay attention, if you flip the correct direction or the same direction every time, 99.9% of the time, you can avoid getting your yarn tangled. Yeah, totally awesome. So anyway, as I was saying, this is one of my ways that I do Tunisian crochet with a double-ended hook. It is a basic, simple Tunisian stitch, both forward and backwards on both sides, that you do with 2 different colors of yarn. This is really nice for making things like scarves. I have made like squares for Afghans, and I've donated those because I didn't know what to do with them. So yeah, I hope this gives you an idea of something that you could do with a double-ended hook, and I will try and share more of these in the future. So make sure you give my video a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos that I may do, and I will see you in the next video.